actual challenge will be how to provide high-speed internet to everybody. I would underline 3 concrete issues. First, the short-term objective should be the efficient implementation of the decision on the 800 band. This will include better coordinated EU policy, also at international fora. Second, the medium-term objective should be to review the size of the digital dividend. At an early stage, discussion should start on the possible allocation of the 700 band for mobile services. It would include reviewing the current Geneva 2006 plan. And third, the EU spectrum policy programme should also pave the way for future technologies such as cognitive radio. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to the representative from Portugal. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to start by congratulating the Parliament and the Commission for this initiative, as it is of the utmost importance to align the views of the European institutions, Member States and stakeholders when defining a strategic plan for an important resource as radio spectrum. The result of this summit confirmed that importance. Radio spectrum can be a very important tool to change the current economic scenario, not just because it can foster investment, but more importantly, because radio spectrum can be the right raw material to expand broadband access in an efficient way, generalizing the advantages of the services and applications that will be available through it and, therefore, improving productivity and well-being. We believe that there is a broad common understanding that in order to achieve these goals we need to release radio spectrum as fast as possible within regulatory certainty, implement technological and services neutrality principles, and assure an efficient and effective utilization of radio spectrum, namely preventing hoarding, what we can do using the right incentive schemes as design auction properly and defining the adequate radio prices schemes. The areas where we find fewer consensus are related with the coexistence of harmonisation and flexibility. There we believe that we should restrict harmonisation to the minimum necessary to achieve economies of scale at European level, objective that in the past was achieved within small parts of the radio spectrum with huge advantages. We should proceed this way, using this approach where and when we are sure the benefits are bigger than the costs, thus in a proportionate way. We believe that the 1800 MHz band can be one of these situations. Concerning the digital dividend, we all understand how important it is, as this is a unique opportunity to release a very important and continuous quantity of radio spectrum. We believe that we should do it as soon as possible, taking however into consideration the specificities of each country, as we start to have next-generation access networks spread everywhere based in fibre. Portugal, as an example, has right now more than 1 million houses cabled with fibre out of 3.5 million of houses. We should let the market choose the right technology in order to spread broadband access, being it fibre, cable or wireless technologies. However, if we do not give the right information in due time to the market, namely regarding in which conditions spectrum will be allocated, how and when, we run the risk of being late and take decisions that at the end will have reduced impact in the market. To finalise, just 2 additional remarks. First, to say that we run the risk of transforming the radio spectrum policy programme in the digital dividend programme. The subject is very important. We are assisting to passionate discussions related with the future utilisation of this band, and therefore this can become the only focal point of all the programme. This should be avoided. Second, to say that spectrum is important, but so are the technologies that will use it. If we look back, we can see how GSM was important in the success of Europe in electronic communications. This means that the policy programme should consider also the high importance of R&D and standardisation, even knowing that these activities have its own actors. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Portugal. And no other country has asked for the floor. So now I'm delighted to give the floor to another honoured colleague from the Parliament, Ms. de Castillo.
Thank you very much. I'm going to use my mother language now. Bueno, en primer lugar,
first of all, I would like to pay tribute to the way in which this first Spectrum Summit has been organised. Quite honestly, I think that both the Commission and the Parliament, as well as the Member States, and in general the stakeholders represented here, have, I believe, contributed very effectively to illustrating, because that was important, an important thing to do, illustrated the different opinions and points of view involved. I think it has been extremely valuable to listen and hear all of these views today. And of course there are common concerns in all of this. The Commissioner herself, who is leading this process of deliberation, has been responding to these concerns and explaining the multi-annual programme to us. But I would like to take this opportunity to flag up something which is of great importance in a meeting of this kind, which is the role played as a political driving force behind decisions that have to be taken as a matter of urgency. We've talked about 2015, 2020, 2025 and so on. The important thing is not so much the date by which certain measures should be adopted. The important thing is to be technically and politically aware that all of this is urgent, that we cannot drag our feet, that we cannot delay these decisions. We can't wait another year, 2, 3, 4 years. Each additional year would be leaving the European economy in the lurch and leaving in the lurch prosperity and well-being of the citizens of Europe. So in that context, I think it's a matter of urgency when we talk about the digital dividend, the 800 megahertz band, the conditions for use, harmonization of conditions of access to this additional resource. When we set deadlines for these decisions of, say, 2015, well, I find that very worrying. I think we should be working in a much tighter time frame. It's as if we were faced with a car industry that could produce extraordinary vehicles and instead of